Hey guys, I was given an assignment by a teacher to make a vlog telling you all about my experience with the Spring Fever tour. From getting the tickets to getting to the show to seeing the show put on to anything that might have happened during or after the show. So, since this was a jam packed tour, I figured I was just going to make a video instead of trying to type out some long essay for him. So, I hope you guys enjoy and when this tour was announced, I went absolutely crazy. I called my friends to ask if they were going. I tried to figure out rides. I tried to figure out how I was going to pay for tickets. And I had everything planned out, but I didn't have my ticket yet. And that's when I struck a rock. See, I waited too long to get my ticket, so by the time I had the money for the ticket, they were sold out. I had to go through StubHub, which is a secondhand ticket retailer, and pay twice as much to go to this show because I didn't buy them in time. And I felt really bad about that. Like, because I just cost my mom an extra 25 bucks to go. But it's all time low. It's worth it. I promise. And I was so ecstatic. And when I finally got my ticket, I would not shut up about going to this show. So, on the way to the show, we had to stop to pick up two of my friends because my mom thought, well, you're going to go out and have fun tonight, so I'm going to take your friends, and we're going to go over to the Mask while you're in Atlanta, so that way I don't have to go home and drive back. So we picked up my two friends, and this is when I started to get scared because by the time I got to the venue, it was already 5:30, and the show doors were supposed to be opening at 6. So I thought that I was going to be at like the very, very back of the line, and I lucked out. I got fairly close to the front of the line. Like, the line normally starts at the Tabernacle doors and wraps around back where the buses are. Well, right after the turn, there was maybe about 6 people in front of me. So I got really close to the front because everyone showed last minute. So by the time I got to the show and got in line, I met these two really sweet girls, and I can't even remember their name now that I try. But we talked for the entire hour we were waiting out there for the show to start about anything and everything. We talked about, like, comics we read, we talked about the band. These two girls were so sweet, and I gave them my URL for my blog, so I'm hoping they'll follow me and, like, get in contact with me, because I really want to talk to them. They were really cool. But then people started moving in the line, and that's when things got rough. Everyone saw the line was starting to move, so even though we weren't in the venue yet, and even though the show wasn't starting for another hour after doors open, everyone was starting to push forward, trying to move everyone out of the line to get further forward. And I don't see why. You're all going to make it into the venue, and you're all going to be able to get where you want to see, so there's no point. I don't know. I'm a big advocate of concert etiquette, and that's not a good example of it. So, but we got inside, and we started taking our places in the crowd, and everything was pretty cool. I mean, people were chill. Crowd didn't seem too big until right before the bands went on, and everything was just really cool. You Me at 6 was the first band to go on, and while I was never a big fan of their music, like I've never really listened to them before the tour, I knew enough of their songs to enjoy them. And after this tour, I will listen to them probably forever because they put on one of the best live performances. I saw him, and the band had so much energy on stage. The lead singer loved to kind of interact with the front couple rows of the crowd. He got a pit going. Like, he had a circle pit going for a while, and that was so much fun. That was one of the pits that I was in during the show. and I had an absolute blast during their set. Like, it actually disappointed me that they were only an opening band and not one of the bands co-headlining, because after seeing their first 2 songs, I was like, I just want to keep seeing you play live. But they did a fantastic job. Josh was a perfect frontman, and he has the cutest accent, but that's beside the point. Their guitarist did fantastic. I love this band alive.
Don't cry, I know you're trying.
Mayday Parade was the second opening band, and I personally have known their music for a while, and while I love their recordings, in my opinion, they were probably the only band on this tour that I would not see live again. They didn't really have a lot of crowd participation. They weren't really energetic as much on stage. Yeah, they had their good moments in some songs, but it just kind of felt cookie cutter, in my opinion. Like, the lead singer did the same thing that you expect every lead singer of a pop-punk band to do. He walked around stage, held the mic out at certain points during the song, let the crowd sing some of the lyrics, talked to the crowd for a couple minutes, hyped up the next 2 bands playing, thanked the band before them, and they were done. I honestly hoped for a better live performance from them, but I guess that just wasn't something that was going to happen that night. Pierce the Veil. What can I say about Pierce the Veil that hasn't already been said by millions? Their band is fantastic recording. Like, in the studio, fantastic. Live, insane. There is no, like, if I had to put this band on a scale of 1 to 10, they'd be a 12. They are so energetic when playing live, it's not even funny, and the crowd goes crazy. This crowd, while the show itself was great, the crowd was one of the roughest I've been in, and I've been to some, like, heavy metal, screamo, like, crazy pit shows, and those weren't even as rough as this crowd. At one point, I actually got knocked to the ground and got stuck there for a song and a half because no one picked me up. No one would help me up. I was being stepped on. Security had to move people out of the way and pull me out of the crowd from front row because they were afraid that I was going to get hurt. And while I appreciate what security's doing, don't pull me away from that front row. But it was Vic, their front man, was so into it. And at one point in the set, he slowed it down for an acoustic song that he dedicated to his brother, and it was beautiful. Like, all you heard was fans cheering along with the song. You heard, I swear I heard someone crying because it was so pretty. And I just love this band live. Their crowd goes, like, they have a great crowd participation kind of, like, feel about them. And I don't know what else to say other than I absolutely love seeing them live, and if I ever get the chance to see them live again, I will. All-time low. I could go on for hours talking about their set during this concert. They were the main reason I went to this show. They surpassed and exceeded my expectations so much. Their first song was the intro and Lost in Stereo, and everyone went crazy. The entire crowd moved in sync. My friend Justin showed up. He started to crowd surf. My friend dared me that I wouldn't, and I crowd surfed, and that's how I got back front row. I went to crowd surf and got put 2 people behind the barrier. And when one of the girls found out that it was my birthday, she moved people over and let me have the barrier. So I was directly in front. It was amazing. When I got to go see All Time Low, I thought, okay, it's a big show, I'm gonna be stuck in the back. You know, I'm gonna see the band. Maybe after I'll get to meet them. You know, nothing big. No, this was insane. I got front row. I got, when Jack Barricat, which is their lead guitarist, crowd surfed during Dear Maria, which was their ending song. When he crowd surfed during Dear Maria, I actually got this hat from him, which was thrown on stage. And I was like, holy crap, Jack Barricat just gave me a Zelda hat. This is fantastic. And I got to like high five him. He wore my sunglasses for a couple minutes. And then like as he was making it back to the stage, threw them back down to me. And it was such a great show. Alex played Therapy, and Alex is their lead singer. They played Therapy live, and I cried because I just absolutely love that song. And I actually caught this during the show, and it made me really happy. So, aside from the hat, I also got a beach ball that was thrown out since Rockstar Energy was, since they were supplying the tour. It was really cool. And they played Therapy live. It was just amazing. The set itself wasn't even what made me as happy as I am. After the show, and I've got plenty of pictures to show just how great this set was, and those will go after this, but after the show, I got to meet my hero, which is Alex. I also got to meet Jack, but Jack wasn't taking pictures by the time I met him, and on the ball I actually have autographs from both of them. That's Alex's, and then that's Jack's, and he signed it with a little smiley face. But after the show, I got to meet Alex, and this man is just so sweet and caring about his fans. I walked up to him and I was like, Alex, can I have your autograph, and then can I have a picture with you since it's my birthday? And he turned around and he was like, holy crap, it's your birthday. And he gave me the best hug, and then took my picture with it, like let me take my picture with him. And it meant the world to me that I got to meet him, and I talked to him for a couple minutes, and it was just fantastic. He's a sweetie. I heard a lot of stories about Jack, their guitarist, when he came out to meet the fans that were just amazing. I sadly didn't get to talk to Jack for very long because he was being like mobbed by fans. But it was just a great experience to get to meet them. And if I had to redo the night all over again, I would do it without a doubt. With everything that went wrong in the night, me getting trampled and knocked down during a show, me falling in the pit during You Me at 6, me getting there right before doors open and being scared that I wasn't going to get a good spot, I would do it all. And then some. This was just one of the best shows I've ever been to. And I've been to a lot of shows. But I got merch during the show. I got things that were thrown out to the crowd. I got to meet my idol. And it was just A+ night.
So no